You've been in this living room before. You present the repair options, and suddenly you hit a wall of sticker shock. Or maybe you're on the phone, dealing with a homeowner who is furious that a technician can't get there until tomorrow. In those tense moments, our natural instinct is to immediately defend our position. We want to justify the price by explaining our high-quality equipment, or defend the schedule by pointing out how busy the dispatch board is. But there is a better way to handle the pressure. By the end of this training, you will have a clear, reliable sequence to instantly de-escalate tension, without compromising our standards or unnecessarily dropping the price. It comes down to two techniques: the mirror and the label. These tools are a core communication standard for everyone wearing the Fry uniform, from comfort advisors to customer service reps. Because here, our objective is never to argue people into agreement. We guide them toward a decision by making them feel deeply understood first. Step 1 is recognizing the trigger. Anytime a customer expresses frustration, fear of making the wrong choice, or shock at a quote, that is your catalyst. This is where conversations usually derail. The trap is jumping straight into a technical breakdown of heat exchangers, building codes, or warranty coverage to justify the cost. Tactical empathy is the goal here, but showing empathy does not mean agreeing with them. You are not conceding that the price is too high or that our schedule is unfair. Instead, the second you detect that trigger, hit the brakes. Stop formulating your defense and switch strictly into active listening mode. Treating objections as a signal to slow the conversation down rather than a signal to fight back builds the foundation you need to keep control of the interaction. Once you've slowed down, you apply step 2. The mirror. This is your immediate response to a customer's trigger statement. The mechanics are simple. You repeat just the last 1 to 3 important words of the customer sentence. The danger here is your delivery. If you repeat their words with a defensive or robotic edge, the technique will backfire. Your tone must be soft and genuinely curious, ending with a slight upward inflection, like you're asking a gentle question. If a customer says, "This quote is higher than I expected," you reply, "Higher than you expected?" By mirroring those words, you trigger a psychological response. The customer instinctively starts explaining the context behind their objection. Mirroring reveals the customer's true comparison point or budget without forcing a defensive why. It allows you to gather the context you need while keeping the customer in control of the information. Now that the customer has elaborated, you move to step 3. The label. The purpose of a label is to accurately name the underlying fear, pressure, or goal the customer just revealed. It proves you understand exactly what they are dealing with. To build a successful label, use one of 3 phrases. Start your sentence with, "It sounds like," "It seems like," or "It looks like." For example, if a homeowner is resisting a diagnostics fee, you might say, "It sounds like you're worried this repair is going to turn into something much bigger and more expensive than expected." Be careful to avoid a common mistake. Do not use self-centered phrasing like, "I'm hearing that," or "I think you're upset because." Starting with the word "it" instead of "I" removes your personal judgment from the equation. It keeps the spotlight entirely on their experience, not your opinion. Accurately labeling a negative emotion instantly diffuses its power. It pulls the customer out of a defensive posture and puts them into a receptive state where real problem-solving can begin. Which brings us to step 4, the golden pause. This is the most difficult step in the sequence, but also the most powerful. The final failure point is the anxious urge to keep talking. You deliver your label, and the silence feels heavy, so you immediately try to justify it or offer a discount to fill the dead air. Resist that urge. After delivering your mirror or label, physically close your mouth and silently count to 3. Let the pause do the work. The customer will usually break the silence, confirming your label by saying, "That's right," dropping their guard. Weaponizing silence forces them to speak, revealing their true barrier. Is it the budget, the project timing, a bad past experience, or a spouse's approval? So here is your sequence. Listen for the trigger, mirror the final words, label the emotion, and apply the golden pause. When you execute this correctly, the dynamic in the room shifts. You go from combatants fighting across a kitchen table to partners sitting on the same side, figuring out a solution together. Your challenge is to put this into practice today. Try this exact communication sequence on your very next customer interaction, whether it's a routine tune-up or a tense breakdown call. Anyone can read a price sheet or explain a parts warranty. Mastering this level of subtle emotional intelligence is what separates standard contractors from the elite advisors we cultivate here at Fry. Take the time to listen, apply the tools, and uphold the Fry standard of care on every call.